Right now, money is tight for really just about everyone. An increasing number of Americans are struggling with credit card debt as they try to make ends meet.
Team 12's Trisha Hendricks joining us live this morning with solutions you can put into effect today to get those finances on the right path.
That's right. Tips you can put into motion right now. The numbers are startling. An overwhelming 85% of Americans say that they have admitted to making mistakes with their finances over the past 10 years. So it's unfortunate but true. And we need some things that we can do to figure this out, right? So for many polled, they say that they're racking up credit card debt. That is one of the biggest financial mistakes that you can make. And if you're one of those, we have some advice for you with the help of financial expert Andrew Johnson joining us at True West and Gilbert this morning. Thanks for having us.
Good morning. Pleasure to be here.
So talk about the biggest mistakes. Credit card debt is one of those. You said you have a niece. You're saying hold off on getting that credit card until you're at least 18.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, we want a credit card early to build credit, right? But I think it's a lesson we all learn early is that we build too much or we spend too much, and then now suddenly we can't pay it off because the interest rates are so high. So the way we get that debt is a lack of savings, right?
So you don't want to have no credit. You need to build that credit, but just holding off a little bit more, not 16 and raring to go.
Yes, exactly. If we have enough in emergency savings, which we found out during quite the pandemic, if we don't have enough in the bank, then unfortunately we go to credit, and then that puts us in a really bad situation.
And if you're making these financial mistakes now, that can really have a ripple effect for your financial future.
Yes, they talk about how long it would take to pay off a credit card at the minimum interest payment, and everybody knows it's pretty much forever. So we need to have a really good strategy to attack those minimum payments and how to get out of debt.
What are some of the other things when people come in, they're saying, I just made this big mistake. How long is this going to take to correct? What do you tell them?
First of all, I tell them that if we're overspending, we really need to be able to take stock of what we're doing, and that's really what happens is lifestyle creep. We may make more money, we may have gotten a great job after this pandemic when things opened back up, but then we naturally spend more, and we don't take stock of what we've been spending, and that can be really detrimental.
So if you're more of a spender, not saving enough, that's another financial mistake people are making.
Yes, I think the biggest thing that no one wants to do is kind of admit to themselves that they're a big spender, and that's okay. It's okay to say I like to spend, because then that's the first step of just identifying and empowering yourself to tackle that debt, and then budgeting for those expenditures. You're not going to restrict yourself, but you should have it, but you should budget for it.
Yes. And speaking of spending beyond your means, that's another one.
Yes, so that's exactly what gets everybody is everything's on a subscription nowadays. So you can easily not be aware of what's going through your bank account until the end of the month, and you realize nothing's left, and then you're putting everything back on credit. So don't spend beyond your means.
All right. Well, Andrew, thank you so much. Paying bills late, yet another financial mistake Americans are making all too often. Coming up in the 6:30 half hour, we're going to talk about how to bounce back. So if you're one of those folks right now that's saying, yeah, I just did that, or I'm not maybe saving enough, and you don't want to see that affect your financial future, we have some advice for you. So again, coming up at 6:30. For now, we're live in Gilbert. Trisha Hendricks, 12 News, Today in AZ.